Point number 2 is that faithful people are prayerful people. And as we just discussed with Hannah, Hannah prayed fervently, she prayed persistently, and she prayed faithfully. Amen?
Amen.
Point number 3 is that faithful people are full of hope. Amen?
Amen.
In Hebrews chapter 11 verse 1, faith is defined as the assurance of things hoped for. And in verse 11, Sarah is given as an example of a faithful woman who was full of hope. By faith, Sarah herself received power to conceive even when she was past the age, since she considered him, God, faithful who had promised. Amen?
Amen.
In other words, Sarah hoped in God. She looked away from her barrenness, she looked away from her age, and hoped in God for the fulfillment of his promise that she would have a child and she would be the mother of many nations.
Amen.
This didn't come easy for Sarah. In fact, when she heard God making the promise to Abraham, she laughed. She laughed at herself and she did not believe. Amen?
Amen.
But God asked her, Sarah, is anything too hard for the Lord?
Amen.
Which restored her faith and caused her to hope in God. Amen?
Amen.
In the Bible, there are many promises given to us. For example, the promise of blessing through suffering, the promise that God is faithful, and the promise that God is all-powerful.
Amen.
And it is our job as faithful Christians to put our hope in the promises of God. Amen?
Amen.
When you find yourself in a difficult situation, remember the promise. Amen? Remember the promise that God will give me a blessing through my suffering. Amen?
Amen.
Remember the promise that God is all-powerful enough to take me out of this situation.
Amen. I believe.
So being a person of faith doesn't mean being perfect or having it all figured out.
No.
It simply means trusting our God,
Amen.
because he has it all figured out.
Amen.
He has a perfect plan for your life. Amen.
Amen.
And in not giving into fear, in being prayerful, and in being full of hope, God is pleased and will reward you with joy and peace.
Amen.
So my brothers and sisters, I hope this message has encouraged you to, number 1, choose faith over fear, like Queen Esther.
Yes.
Number 2, be prayerful,
Prayerful.
like Hannah.
Yes.
And number 3, be full of hope, like Sarah. Amen.
Amen.
Have hope in the promises of God. And today, choose faith. When you find yourself in a situation, when you receive a bad report from the doctor, when you receive a bad report from the workplace, have faith in God. Amen.
Amen.
Because we are commanded to live by faith. Amen. Even faith as small as a mustard seed is enough to move a mountain. Amen. So I
Amen.
hope this message has encouraged you and reminded you to always live by faith. So I hope this message has been a blessing to you, and see you next time. Shalom.
Amen.